Bill Bedenbaugh stepped in front of the media here. I guess this would have been yesterday. And he was able to talk a little bit about his offensive line and how he feels with how they've been looking in fall camp. And we heard a lot of good things from Bill Bedenbaugh. Again, I know we don't want to feed into too much of the hype and the talk, but you're hearing things that weren't being said about this team a season ago. And you're also hearing things that weren't said with the same tenacity, with the same uh, energy as you're hearing from the media and from the coaches this season. And I think that's worth taking note of. Now, you can take it for what it's worth. Again, all of this is just talk. It is just fall camp, and they haven't played a single game yet. But take it for what it's worth. I enjoy listening to any of the coaches speaking and kind of diving down and seeing what they see, hear what they say. Sorry, hear what they see from the team and everything. Yeah, I think that's important. But he talked a lot about trust, playing time, how he's really emphasized this season about consistency, not to try to show any kind of flashy athleticism and big time plays, but just consistency from making sure you're doing your job each play. If you focus on your job each play, nothing can go wrong. You know, you have to do what you're supposed to do. You can't focus on anybody else. You have to be consistent and do it every play. That's something that he's been focusing on a lot this offseason, and especially this fall camp. And he's been talking about how players are earning trust, and he talked about specific players. I think he talked a lot about the younger players, and we'll get to that in just a moment. And talking about them and how they're doing things right and repeatedly, not just big plays. Again, not just focusing on those big athletic plays and the things that they're doing there, but focusing on each play and doing it consistently. That's big for Bill Bedenbaugh going into this season, and love to hear that. And he's also talked about the good competition. He talked about how especially on the interior of the line, how there's a lot of competition building up, and where this starting five in the front could be so much different than what we've predicted here on this show or anywhere across Sooner media. And that's something that is very interesting. So I'm very excited to see what that line ends up looking like, because the competition is 100% a good thing. You didn't really hear any competition from a season ago. There was a little bit, and there might have been some competition from the standpoint of so-and-so's not doing well, and so we think so-and-so might be able to start over them, or so-and-so is battling injuries that were a huge issue a season ago, but you didn't. And again, I know we're trying to keep away from talking about those, but anyways, just bringing that up real quick, just those were the things that we saw. Bill Bedenbaugh even talked about the experience and some of that experience that's brought out this season compared to what Oklahoma was fighting with last season. Really no experience up on that line, no cohesion, no chemistry between those front five guys. And again, it was the injuries that kept on rotating guys in and out nonstop. And he talked about that actually being a good thing for this season, that they were able to get some valuable game time and some game experience for some of those younger guys. And he also was talking a little bit about Logan and Heath. So Logan Howland, Heath Ozada, missing spring ball a little bit, but they're improving. They're getting better, coming off their shoulder injuries. Kind of ramping up to that point of getting back out there full string. And he's talked about this offensive line as a whole, talking about how he's seen the biggest jump from this offensive line here more recently in the last week or two of camp. And that's huge. You love to hear that from Bill Bedenbaugh and how much faith he has in his guys.